CBC is helping to ensure that other yoga studios and fitness ones like it won't dare to make a safety rule, even if it's in line with the World Health Organization. Here in BC, we've graduated to phase 3 of the lockdown. This means most businesses are open with restrictions, and you would think that now would be the time that many Canadians would be happy to show their support for the surviving small businesses, right? Well, that doesn't seem to be the case for at least one yoga studio located out here in Vancouver, BC. Bikram Yoga Commercial Drive is actually being victimized by a cancel culture mob. Why? Because CBC misrepresented the studio's reasons for restricting the use of masks while practicing yoga, with a headline that read, "Vancouver Yoga Studio turns away customers who want to wear face masks," says patron. Now that seemed like a rather bold stance for a yoga studio to me, although I reminded myself it is Bikram Yoga after all. For those of you who don't know what Bikram yoga is, it's often referred to as hot yoga. According to livescience.com, rooms are heated often up to a sweltering 41 degrees Celsius and kept at a fairly high humidity. So, what do our health advisors have to say about the combination of exercise and heat? We're going to get to that. Naturally, I read the CBC's article in full to see if I could get some clarification regarding the yoga studio's controversial stance, although maybe it shouldn't have been controversial at all, you'll see. And then after that, I popped over to the yoga studio's website to get the full story. I realized then that CBC had left out crucial information that appropriately explains why the yoga studio has a no mask rule. We'll get to that in just a second, but first let's walk through and see how CBC first reported the story and what that meant for this small business and their reputation online post-lockdown. The original version of CBC's story implied to the reader that the rejection of masks was about the impression of fear, not about following the World Health Organization's advice. Bikram Yoga Commercial Drive says those who want to wear masks should not practice at the location, according to an employee who answered the phone when CBC called. Then they exert from the yoga studio's website, "Our vision is that we all individually take full accountability for how we feel, and if we feel scared or sick, please do not come to our studio." That's it. That's all they took from the website. They also reported that Alison Cloth says she showed up to the hot yoga class on Friday morning wearing a reusable cotton mask and was asked by one of the owners to leave the class. "He said to me, 'The other owner and I have discussed this. We don't want masks here,'" Cloth said. Cloth, who said she was wearing a mask as a precaution due to past health issues involving her lungs, said the owner told her that wearing a mask would make other patrons fearful. I said, "I'm not afraid. I mean, I'm afraid of you, but other than that, I'm not afraid. I do have some medical issues in my history and I'm just being precautionary." So that sounds pretty bad at first glance, right? Except the yoga studio clearly indicates on the website, as soon as you click on it, it pops up that they are trying to be in compliance with the guidelines set out by the World Health Organization on their Facebook page. How can you miss it? Here's how they wrote it. "Dear community, we hope that this post finds you well. The World Health Organization shared that people should not wear masks when exercising, as masks may reduce the ability to breathe comfortably. Face masks can be worn in the lobby and change rooms only. Masks are not permitted inside the yoga practice rooms." So CBC literally had to ignore all of the top to the bottom of that. "The yoga studio is now simply following WHO recommendations, as in one of those trusted sources that we're supposed to look at for COVID-19 and that Facebook didn't censor, and we know that Facebook loves to censor, right? Notice the World Health Organization's document capitalizes not to emphasize how important this recommendation is. It's easy to conclude from that it's not safe to exercise wearing a mask, even without the sweltering heat. Not to mention here in Vancouver, Vancouver Coastal Health says that for us to rely on the World Health Organization for info regarding COVID-19. Now let's talk about the fallout for this yoga studio caused by CBC's shoddy reporting. The false narrative then incited a cancel mob to attack the yoga studio's online reputation, to basically destroy whatever remained of their business after the coronavirus lockdown had claimed the rest. The angry online mob headed over to Bikram Yoga Studio's Facebook page to give it bad reviews, some even quoting while linking CBC's article along with their rating. Here's just a few of the ratings that I saw on the page. Just saw the wonderful news about you guys on CBC. Say goodbye to your business. Any business that does not put the lives of their employees or customers first should also have a review to reflect that. Highly do not recommend. They are not following public health officials' recommendations for reducing the spread of COVID-19. Stay safe by staying away from this place. Now, you and I know that none of that is true. Take a look at this one. They are actively going against health recommendations to wear a mask and are endangering everyone that goes here. These are the worst kind of people. Now, although the studio's overall ratings did go down significantly on the Facebook page, a handful of people were in support of the studio's decision to make a safety rule for their location that's in line with the World Health Organization's advice. The CBC eventually did update the story. Let's take a look. Bikram Yoga's commercial drive confirmed Wednesday masks are only permitted in its lobby and change rooms and not in the practice room. The thing is, the damage is already done. CBC gets to make an overdue correction, and this company is left to pick up the pieces the cancel mob and the lockdown have left behind. I did reach out to the yoga studio for their side of the story, and understandably, they did not get back to me. Why would they? Who would really want to speak to the news right now after it ended up so poorly the last time? CBC is helping to ensure that other yoga studios and fitness ones like it won't dare to make a safety rule, even if it's in line with the World Health Organization. That is, unless, of course, the mainstream media reports it with a supportive narrative. For Rebel News, I'm Drea Humphrey. It's our job here at Rebel News to tell the other side of the story, whether it's about Black Lives Matter, the pandemic, Justin Trudeau, or even about Vancouver, BC. To support the work we do as independent journalists, please go to helprebelnews.com. We appreciate your support.